policies that he's actually talking about are horrible. They're policies that will take New York backwards. They're going to destroy investment. They're going to probably destroy people's ability to actually get food. If you have, municipal grocery stores, they're going to end up with empty shelves because there's other places where you can get eggs. They're not going to be able to compete, and they're going to have to try to affect the other grocery stores to be able to compete. These are all, the policies like rent control are terrible. They end up making the places that people have rent control, they make those places into slums because nobody wants to invest to fix those places when things break down. They're all destructive policies, but when they're sold to the electorate as this is to make things more affordable and the electorate cannot afford things, they're going to say, yeah, that's a good deal for me. I mean,
I agree. And they would, these people like AOC, they don't even want you to work. Like I remember, this just reminded me of that time, was it Amazon moving into her district and she voted it away?
Yeah.
Right. And that was going to bring in a ton of jobs, but this will be more appealing. I'm sure there were people who were very mad about that in that district.
Yeah. People in her district.
Right.
Yeah.
They were yelling at her, right?
They were pissed.
Yeah. Yeah. But
here's the, sorry.
No, go for it.
No, but here's the thing, and I truly predict, and having lived in New York many, many years at this point and seen so many of these policies actually come into play, I think a lot of people are predicting, if he wins, everyone's going to leave. Well, first of all, most everybody who's going to leave already left. Like most people anybody who's still there has to be there. I mean, that's the only reason for it at this point. I generally think these policies are harmful, and anybody who lives in New York long enough is going to realize that they're not going to get anything for free. They're not going to be able to overcome the incredible rent problem that they already have in New York. And I'm sorry, but $15 an hour is not a living wage. So I'm not sure what world you live in. And coming from the restaurant industry, 15 years and most of it in New York, that was extremely harmful. And the result was that most people lost their jobs, not that they actually were able to afford their rent.
Some of the waitresses in Manhattan do all right. And now with the tips, maybe. I wonder how the tips is going to help them.
Except they don't, because there's only half of the amount that they used to be, and they don't get tipped because the service is terrible, because there's not enough people on the floor, because they have to pay people benefits, they have to pay people these exorbitant minimum wages. Restaurants operate on this sliver margin. I mean,
I knew people who were working in restaurants and hotels, and those hotels were taken to give to illegals.
Yeah, exactly.
So they lost their jobs, and these guys got debit cards.
Most of the restaurants that I worked for in New York lost their property because of that. They were all in hotels. It was Danny Meyer. This is very famous. He had Maialino and Marta in the Redwood Hotel and the Gramercy Park Hotel, and both of those restaurants are gone because of that. Not because of the pandemic, but because of migrants in the hotels.
Insane.
So these are what the policies actually cause.
Yeah, and I can't wait for when, not that I want, because Trump's the guy, he should be Caesar, back to the radical policies. But when Trump's out of the way, I can't wait for the knife fight in the Democrat Party between the DSA and the old stock Democrats, so to speak, because there's going to be one side has all the money, and then the other side has all the passion, and it's going to be so fun watching this. It's going to be delicious.
So, Ellie, back to that point that you were making about, the businesses leaving. Do you foresee, if Mamdani does win, and it's looking like he's going to, do you foresee New York becoming like Detroit? Is it possible for New York City to be hollowed out like that? Because I can imagine, a lot of people. I know you made the argument that the people that can leave have already left. I don't know that I believe that. I think there are a lot of people that wanted to pay more because it made them feel good. A lot of wealthy people, on the Upper East and West Side that have nice apartments around Central Park and stuff, or nice condos. And those people, if the government starts actually going after their savings, saying, you've got this unrealized gain, unrealized, or taxes on unrealized gains or whatever. I think that those people will be like, okay, now this is too much for me. And they might start leaving. And do you foresee a possibility?
It's possible. I think that it's hard to compare it to Detroit, which really lost its soul because of the death of the American-made automotive industry. So that really is kind of difficult to compare.
Couldn't you conceptualize like the financial industry saying, we don't need to be here?
So much more than, I think much more likely in this scenario.
They don't have factories.
much more likely in this scenario is that they're going to elect Mamdani, and then they're going to realize what they've done, and the buyer's remorse is going to result in a massive pendulum swing long before he has the chance to rot that city to its core. Yeah. People understand that New York is New York. It's the heart and soul of media. It's the heart and soul of news and politics.
But if it's young people that don't have any money and don't have anything to lose, are there enough older people with money and with things to lose that would vote against those people to say, okay, we actually have enough influence? You think there's enough?
I think that the young people are going to lose interest in this. Yeah. I think that the worst thing that could happen to the Democratic Party right now is Zohran Mamdani. Yeah. I think that him winning this election is going to show everybody exactly what they're playing with. It's going to reveal every card that they've been trying to use, and it's going to be an enormous problem for them.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.